More, just a little more, just a little more.
So how can, I would say, how can men or people be true allies to Black women? You know, because I know y'all are running the world. I mean, I know, child, I have this cup for a reason. I don't use Google because I have my mama. Listen, Val, I go to her for everything. She's my counselor. She is, and I know the pressure that is. Though I know the pressure that she has on her, and so I try to make sure that I support her as much as I can. So, what are ways that we can support? And I think, and I'm saying Black men, but also these, white women who say they're feminists as well. So, I want to see what are ways that you guys really need support, and not the support they think you need. What is support that you really need, or to be a true ally?
I think first, just believe us, acknowledge us, don't just, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I feel like that happens a lot to Black women. Like, our feelings aren't relevant, aren't true. They're always exaggerated, as if we're living in this like fantasy world where all these things happen to us, but it's not reality. So just get over it. No, these are deep-seated, rooted issues that we have been dealing with, and we need you to recognize that they are real. Recognize that because if you say that my experience isn't real, you're saying that I'm not real. So you're taking my humanity away. Once you take my experience away, you take my humanity away. So now I don't matter across the board. So I think number one, believe Black women.
Amen. Amen. I've been very fortunate enough to work my current boss. I've worked with him over for the past 3 years, but he's very intentional about giving me time off and a mental health day. When I say I need it, it goes back to that thing of listening and hearing and believing us. When we say we are tired, believe us, because we really are. We've probably been carrying a load for so long, and we may not even recognize it ourselves. And I appreciate him for that, because he recognizes that. He's like, okay, you have been going. It's time for you to chill. So recognize when we need space, when we need room to talk, because it's not always complaining. Sometimes it's got to come out, and it's going to come out in a way that it may not be the way you want to hear it sometimes, but allow us to have that room to speak the way we want to speak, so that we can release all that energy. I think those are important, especially for men, to just allow us to exist. Like you said, if we just let us be, I think it'll be a lot better. That'll be so helpful.
I mean, John, there's not enough time in the world for us to answer, but like a few things pop into mind, both of what was just said, but also the idea, like people, I am one of them too. I love the idea of Black girl magic. I love the idea of feeling superhuman and all this sort of stuff, but Black women are not supernatural creatures.
No.
And my favorite meme that I've recently seen, it was like an Instagram post where it was like, Black women are gonna run the world. And then the next one is like, Black woman, I need your help, I'm drowning. You're doing so great, sisters, like literally help me, I'm dying. It's like, oh my God, you're so fierce. And it's just like, there's a, it's like, yes, we stand on the shoulders of an incredible lineage of strong, powerful women that got us to where we are, but that does not take away from the humanity and the mundane nature of being a person. We get tired, we get angry, we get depressed, we are silly and nerdy. We are also, for some of us, we are more masculine of center than other women. It does not take away from us being Black women. Some of us have varying shades of identity and melanin content, right? But that does not take away from who we are or our experience. So yes, believe us and give us room to fail. Like give us room to like not be okay. Like I'm tired of having to live up to some random unachievable expectation of Black feminine like perfection. Like, yes, I know you want all the cultural things I can put out there because we are bad. We do it. But like when I'm ready to take a break, like get out of my face.
Please
like,
let me live.
Let me live and leave me alone.
Leave me alone. That's so true. Oh, I'm like, my eyes getting watery because it's like, just let me. Please, I just want to I don't want to carry that my whole life. I don't. It's hard. It is hard.
And the last thing I'll say is like the other thing we can do is like as Black women, stop putting these barriers between ourselves. Because I meant like when the WAP song came out and I watched it, I was like, okay, so my job is to support all Black women. Like my job, I don't care if she's the ratchet hood rich queen. I don't care if she's the Fortune 500 CEO. I don't care if she's the church mouse. I have got to support all Black women. Because if I don't, then, ooh, my spotlight. Here she is. Hi. Because if I don't, then I'm no better than anybody else that's on the outside trying to tear us apart. So I don't care how light skinned you is. I don't care how dark and creamy you are. Like, I don't care if you wear a weave, your head is shaved, you natural, you had a perm all your life. Like, I am here to support Black women and femmes. I will say that because it's hard enough to just be in a body that looks like this and moves the way that it does and holds muscle and cellulite the way that it does. I don't want to add to the pressure of another person's experience who has had what I've had to deal with. So yes, all that external stuff, yes, men support us. Get off of your front porch feminism that, oh, I didn't support women until I had a daughter. Shut up. Like, were you not a woman born? Like, come on now. But like, we gotta support each other. And I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Well, you already said exactly what I was gonna say, because when you mentioned melanin, I was gonna talk about that for the women and the men, because I feel like they try to divide us with that. I'm sorry, we all Black, no matter how much melanin you got. I ain't got that much, but I'm still Black, okay? And then when you mentioned the WAP video too, I'm glad that you mentioned that as well, because when people were complaining about that, I was honestly like, what else could you expect from Cardi and Meg Thee Stallion? Like, this is what they do. How is it shocking you? This is who they are. Period. Like, this is the kind of videos they've already made. Do you expect them all of a sudden be in church clothes making videos? Like, that's not them.
And it's a bop.
It's a vibe. I'm sorry I had to interrupt, but it's a vibe. Like, come on. That was my morning song. I was like, yes. Sorry.
I cannot with you. And
if you don't like it, don't listen to it. How about that? If it's not for you, Spotify has so many options. How about that?
A lot of options.
I also want to mention, because I know, Jonathan, you asked about what can other people do or allies, but I also want to talk about what we can do for ourselves, because we do hold a lot of trauma surrounding our identities as Black women. Prime example, as an actress going into auditions, I realized that I had this insecurity going into certain rooms, and feeling like, well, I don't know if they're gonna like me. I don't know if I'm right for this, even though I am right for this, but I don't know if I'm right for this. I don't know if they think I'm right for this because I'm Black, just having all of that noise in your head. And, these are things that I've internalized because I've grown up as, a Black woman in America. And then even as a fitness instructor, up until, I stopped working back in January? Up until January, literally. And I was working at my studio for like 4 years. And my studio, very diverse, very inclusive. But I carried with me this insecurity because I was working on the Upper East Side of New York. So most of the clientele are pretty wealthy white women. So that's who I was teaching. So I always held this insecurity of, well, what are they thinking of me? I'm in the middle of teaching a fitness class, like, all right, in 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 and 2. And, you know, but in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they thinking about me? Is my body type right? You know, I'm not like the most curvaceous Black woman, but I'm also a Black woman. So I'm always thinking like, oh, even though those are still misconceptions, because there's a lot of curvy white women in the world, okay? But just all of those things that I've internalized have really affected how I show up in spaces.
Yes.
And I think that we as Black women, I'm glad one of you mentioned therapy. I'm glad we mentioned therapy. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to let go of these limiting beliefs that aren't true, because it is affecting us and it is preventing us from showing up in spaces where we're called to show up in the first place and thrive.
Yeah.
So yes, other people need to acknowledge us, but we also need to acknowledge ourselves. A lot of self-work needs to be done.
Yeah, what you talk about, like going into space and feeling insecure about imposter syndrome. Ooh, Black women, we know we got the 14 degrees and we know we studied this down, and we still walk into the room like, maybe I shouldn't be here. maybe I shouldn't talk too loud. And oh, he said that wrong. Okay, well, he just said it wrong. I won't correct him. Imposter syndrome. Oh, yeah. As a Black woman, I have done it so many times. I go into a space with white people, white women, and they will be wrong, loud and wrong about something. And I will just be like, okay. Because I don't want to make a fuss. I don't want to be that person, you know. I don't want to, you know, throw my race under the bus by being loud again and correcting the white people. It's imposter syndrome. And we gotta, oh, that's a hard thing to break. It is hard to break. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've just been preaching. I was going to give y'all all the unicorn award because y'all amazing. But my last thing, because y'all have preached and closed it out and did a sermon, but I would want you to say, because we did have a little young baby lamb at the beginning, but I think she done went on and transition to do greater things. But what would you say to your younger self? What would you say to your younger little Black girl? What would you say to her that you know now? What would you say to her?
I would tell myself to keep on being you. Keep on being you. That laugh of yours is going to take you places. That smile of yours is going to take you places. That childness of you is going to take you places. That little innocence that you have is going to take you places. Your love of Minnie Mouse is going to take you places. Like I would just, yes, it takes me places, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. But really, I would just tell myself to keep on being me, because I know for me, I had the insecurities growing up because I didn't fit in the box, you know, and I still don't fit in the box. And now I love not fitting in the box, okay?
She freeze.
I'm rememberable now, okay? High quality, hello. So it's just keep being you. At the end of the day, God made you the way you are for a reason. And what he made me for is needed in this world. So don't give it up.
Mm-hmm.
Chantal, what would you say to little bitty Chantal?
Oh my gosh, so much. Stop being scared. Who cares? They're gonna talk about you anyway, girl. Just do you. Oh, I would definitely tell myself, stop being so scared, and you are loved, and you are smart, and you belong, and you deserve to be where you are. You deserve to step into a room and be heard. You don't need to shy away from talking. Use that big voice. Use it. It is okay. You can. And yeah, I just don't be scared, because I think I was always scared I'd get in trouble. Like if I was too loud, and if I did something, you know, if I tried on this outfit or this. I just always felt like I was going to get in trouble, or, you know, and don't be scared of white people. White people are just people. Stop it. You don't have to run away from them. They're not scary. Oh yes, I was scared of white people. Oh yes, they're people too, and so that we all shit the same. I would tell my younger self that.
Nina,
I get
what would you say to little Nina? What would you
Oh
say to her?
Lord. God, I would say you are as cute as you think you are.
Oh yeah.
Moving. And I don't know if I could articulate it, but it's to impress that your body and your self-worth are not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how you physically show up in the world is not as important as how you exist in the world, if that makes sense.
That's a slay fan right there. Jonathan, where's the fan? Where's the fan? Because that right there was a word.
Because like
that was a word.
we all know being a Black woman is hard. And just being a woman is difficult. Like being in this body, in this, my roommate calls it a flesh suit, which it is, this flesh prison. Like life is hard, and it's like, enjoy it. Like they're gonna talk about you anyway. You are a nerdy, weird little Black girl. Embrace it. Like just love who you are. Like if I had spent more time loving and being kind to myself, like imagine, like I don't, like I'm happy where I am, but like I just imagine what could have been if I genuinely like just loved like that nerdy, adorable little chubby fat girl who was like into comic books and anime, like, and that is okay. So yeah. I would probably that.
Yeah.
Tamara, what would you say to little baby? You.
Yeah, there's a lot. And a lot of the things that I would say are things that I'm saying to myself today as a 32-year-old woman, and, you know, really trying to believe them. The first is to don't be afraid of who you are. You are great and phenomenal and magnificent, and believe people when they speak greatness into you. You know, Jonathan, this just came to my mind. This was, I believe, our first year of grad school. We were out to dinner or something. I don't know. But you said something like, I see God when I see you perform. It was like the most, I don't want to get emotional, but
Yeah. Still to this day, you're one of my favorite performers, and I always say that. Any show I've done, and anybody who's seen my shows, I call Tamara. Like I'd be like, I can't do it if Tamara can't be in it, because I see God when she performs, and I believe the audience feels God and sees God when she performs. I know you will be big. I know you will, and so I'm just thankful that I get the opportunity to work with you in performing. But really, when you perform, it transcends, and it transcends the audience. It transcends me. If you get a chance to see her perform, it'll be the best thing you've ever saw. But I meant that when I said it. And I remember we were at I was at the restaurant, but it was on Broaden Street. It was on Broaden Street.
yeah. Well, thank you, Jonathan. But yeah, whenever I get any type of compliment or accolade like that, it's really hard for me to accept that, because it's so weird, because I know how powerful I am as an artist, but there's still this level of insecurity that keeps me from hearing certain things from other people, like, oh no, I mean, it wasn't that great, and like, oh no, I still need to work on this, you know. And I feel like if I can just remove all of that noise, then I can really show up as powerful, you know. And I would definitely, because this is something I've struggled with my whole life, I would definitely, you know, tell little Tamara that you are powerful, and believe it when people say it.
It goes back to it. I don't know who said it, but somebody said it, that we deserve it. Like going back to reminding yourself that you deserve this. You deserve to hear the good things, because it's something I struggle with too. So you deserve to hear the positive things. You deserve to be in that room. You deserve to have all the lights on you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve it. And so I think that is the thing that we all have to continuously tell ourselves is, yeah, I deserve this.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad, Tamara, you brought up Jonathan breathing that into you, because if people want to know how to show up for Black women, take it from Jonathan. Jonathan sees you and recognizes you. I mean, even my first day on the job with Jonathan 2 years ago, he was like, oh, we're going to be friends. You were so great up there. And I was like, he lying. Like, stop. I don't even know him. What are you saying? But breathing life into somebody. And Jonathan does that very, very well. He always shows up. Yeah, he always sees you. He just doesn't look at the surface. He's always looking into your heart and into your soul. And then he will tell you the beauty that he sees.
And then sometimes you don't want to hear what he got to say because he be trying to be too real. But you know,
but we all need it.
He does a great job.
Oh my God, I love y'all. I thank y'all for doing this. I thank you guys for showing up and letting your voices be heard. I hope that people hear them and not put on what they think they can do for Black women. I always say that. I was like, Black men be like, I just need to show up and be strong for them. Did you ask? They can speak. Did you ask what they needed support with? But I just hope that they people hear this tonight, and I really hope that they say this to a little Black girl, and not to, they don't have to be your daughter, but somebody you may teach, somebody you may know, and speak life into them and let them know that, hey, your life matters. Your life matters. And you may not see it right now on TV and with this whole situation and debacle, but your life does matter. And so thank you for tuning in to Just a Little More. We're so excited that you did. Like, share, subscribe, send this to 1 million people so that they can see this story and really start supporting the cause of Black Lives Matter, but especially Black women lives matter, and really supporting that cause. Thank y'all, everybody. Go get you some chicken and eat some food and some good food and stuff. I love you. I'll see you later. I'll show your shirts off. But I don't have none.
I didn't wear my phenomenal woman today.
But you had your hair wrap on.
And for the culture though.
See y'all later. Dad.